Wow, do you know there are three different ways you can make your gathers? Now, please walk with me through this video as I show you three different ways you can sew your gathers. My name is Blessing and I'm the creative director of B Stitches Designs. Please, if you're new to the channel, kindly subscribe. And if you have been here, thank you very much for coming back. So, the first method, we are going to be adjusting our stitches to the most loose stitch. If you're using a butterfly machine, you are going to make your stitch length to be very loose, meanwhile bringing it down. But I'm using an industrial machine, so I adjusted to the most loose stitch. You are going to sew on the fabric you intend on making your gathers on, and you are not going to stitch at first. You are just going to sew on the fabric. Mind you, it is going to be very loose. I showed you guys how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be very loose, so you are going to sew. You are not going to stitch from the beginning, and when you're done sewing, you're also not going to stitch. So after that, you are going to use a needle to remove one of your stitches from the the material. Can you see what I'm doing? You remove one of the stitches from the material. Then you're also going to sew that line again. Remember, you're not going to stitch. And please mind you, whenever you're making gathers with your machine, please make sure that the your bobbin is fully threaded so that it doesn't cut on the way, because if it does, then that means you're going to start afresh. So you're also going to sew the second line. You're going to be using half-inch spacing. Can you see? Please also remember to remove one of the thread at the edge, at both edge, because you're going to be drawing your gathers from both edge. Now you pick one of the upper part and you pick one of the down part from the same side, and you are going to drag. Can you see what I'm doing? You are going to drag. Please do this gently, do this softly, because peradventure or mistakenly, if you rip your seam, you are going to start afresh. So you're going to do this gently. You're going to drag gently. When you're sure that you've dragged one side enough, you can flip to the other side and also drag. Do so till you achieve the length you need for your gathers. For example, if you need if the gathers you're joining to the dress is going to be like 10 inches, you're going to draw your gathers till it gets to that 10 inches. Can you see what I'm doing? So you're going to draw it, and after drawing it, you're going to make sure they are all aligned. No part is more gathered than the rest. Can you see? Can you see it, guys? Can you see? Adjust so that they are evenly gathered. Now, mind you, you can use this method for any kind of gathers you want to make. You can use this method especially if the material is not so thick, if the material is light, because if you use this on a thick material, it's going to rip. By the time you're drawing your gather, the thread is going to rip. So please, I'll advise you don't use this for a thick material. So now I'll go back and I'll adjust my stitch length to the normal stitch length that I use in sewing. So I'm going to sew this to hold it in place. I'm going to sew the gather to hold it in place after I have achieved my desired length that I want to use for whatever I'm sewing. You're going to stitch it to hold it in place, after which you are going to sew onto your dress. And after sewing onto your dress, you're going to lose one, especially the one on the down part, the gather on the down part. You're going to lose it so that it doesn't show on the dress. The one on the upper part, you can leave that one because it's definitely going inside the dress, so nobody is going to see it. But this one on the down part, please make sure you lose so that it doesn't come out. It will look tacky and unprofessional. So this is it. We are done with this gather. It is very beautiful. Remember, I told you, please, there is another option for a one you can use on a thick material, but For this one, please don't use it on a thick material. So we are going on to number 2. So for number 2, this style is the style whereby you will gather directly on the fabric. Now I do this most times, especially when I have enough fabric, when my fabric is not calculated and I want my gathers to be really full. So I do this whenever I have enough fabric and I want my gathers to be really full. I will gather directly on the fabric. I will gather direct. I might even gather, if it's a gown, I might gather directly on the joining part. Do you understand? So you can make this gather to be as full as you want, as far as you have um a lot of fabric at hand. So this is quite simple and easy. I'm trying to bring the camera close. So I'm using a needle. If you don't have a needle, you can also use your hand to direct the gathers, to arrange the gathers while you sew. So this is very simple and not time consuming. But please make sure you do this whenever you have plenty fabric. Do not do this when you have limited fabric, because you end up losing, because you might not be able to calculate well. Can you see? This is very beautiful. So this is the second way you can gather your dress. Now we are going into the third way to gather our dress. This one is the one I normally use for thick fabrics, for very thick materials. For example, if I want to gather a mikado, or if I want to gather an ankara that I've already lined, or if I want to gather scuba, like all those thick fabrics, this is normally what I do. You thread your needle, just single threading, you tie, and then you are going to sew. You are going to use normal hand stitching that you were taught in primary school, in secondary school. You are going to sew. Can you see what I'm doing? Just normal hand stitching, but it's not going to be so close. So you're just going to go that way. You go this way, you go this way. This can be quite time consuming, especially when you have when your material that you're gathering is quite long. It can be time consuming. And please, if you're using this method, as you're threading your needle, please kindly check the material you're working with, so that you thread your needle to be enough. Because if it isn't enough, you have to start afresh. So you thread your needle to be enough and go all the way to the other end. Can you see? Then you're going to cut your thread, but don't cut it very close. You're going to give space while cutting, and then you're also going to tie your thread. If the one you have on your needle is not enough, you thread your needle again, and you're going to go the second line, just as we did for the first method. You are going to go 2 times, and you're going to give half-inch spacing, and then you're also going to go again. Do you know why I love this method? I love this method because it really gives you full gathers, very full and fluffy gathers. Like, I like this method, but it's quite time consuming. But trust me, you would love to try it out whenever you have a thick fabric. Don't even bother trying the number 1 method on the number 2 method. Just use this whenever you have a very thick fabric. You get? So I'm still threading the down part. I'm still sewing the second stitch. I'm still sewing the second stitch. And you see, I'm almost done. And voila, that is it we have there. So you're also going to cut off. Remember, you're not cutting it too close. Then you're going to drag from one end, and also turn to the other end and also drag. Can you see this gather? This is very beautiful. I think it's one of my best. So you're also going to secure after you have measured your gathers and you're sure you have gotten what you want. I mean, by the length you want. you're going to sew across to secure your gathers. You're going to sew across to secure your gathers. And after you've done this, you're going to loose the gathers just as we did for the number one method. You're going to lose the stitches. You're going to lose the stitches. And can you see we are good to go? This is very beautiful. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking to the end. Please kindly like, share and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.